We live? We live. Guys, welcome to another episode of the Recline and Unwind podcast. Today's a little different. Today's episode is a solo episode. It is hot as hell outside today. We're talking, all right, so right now it says 82 degrees, but believe me, it felt really, really bad earlier today. Um, and I was gonna have a guest this week, but I think we can mix it up a little bit. This episode might be a little shorter than um other episodes that we're used to that are gonna come out or any of that. So today's episode is actually really, really, I want to say, funny-ish kind of type of episode, you know? So on the one of the last episodes I had with my boy Wabi Fresco, we brought up a topic actually that I don't really talk about in terms of like publicly, like on in my music or things like that, let alone on the podcast. But it came up and it was a very interesting thing to talk about. So let's bring it up. And this topic, my close friends know that I'm crazy on it. This topic is actually K-pop. Now, before I get the hate and all that, whatever, blah blah blah, I understand it could be like, oh, annoying, and I get it. Believe me, I've annoyed myself talking about it. But I do want to touch on the point where, on the matter of fact, I want to touch on the topic that, like, the boom. Like, I used to be a crazy hater of the genre, and now it's honestly probably one of the few things I listen to. And it all had, well, obviously the lockdown, right, when COVID hit, and that's what I got into. I got into BLACKPINK, and that was like the gateway. I call it the gateway drug because when I started listening to it, it was just BLACKPINK, BLACKPINK, BLACKPINK. And you know, How You Like That, Ice Cream was, for many reasons, one of the biggest drugs the biggest gateway drugs for the genre. But after that, like, it's just a downward spiral or upward spiral, whatever you guys want to call it, because I didn't last that long until I started discovering all these other groups. So, I mean, we're talking, what was first? I think ITZY was first. Obviously besides BTS, like we all knew BTS because of Dynamite and throwback like Idol DNA. Well, at least me, you know. And originally one of the episodes that we had recorded for the very, 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 very first like pre-launch of this was a K-pop episode with one of my friends. Before it was called Young and Brainless, before it was called Recline and Unwind. We talked about K-pop, and I don't know if I have the draft there or not, but it was like I tried switching things around in the episode, and it wasn't good. It wasn't good, mainly because I didn't know what direction I was going in. But my friend did explain a lot of things of the industry that I really wasn't aware of, as a non-fan of, like, oh, they take forever to train, whatever, blah blah, right? So point is, I got into it. I'm into it now, and it's insane. Like, when I got into it, I believe Wannabe by ITZY was already out. It had already done its thing. I was unaware of it. I think all I really knew was BLACKPINK and BTS, How You Like That, Dynamite. I believe Butter wasn't out yet. Butter was coming out. But point is, now we're in a time where BLACKPINK is there. BLACKPINK has solidified themselves, and I'm actually gonna go see them in a couple of weeks at MetLife Stadium. Speaking of MetLife Stadium, I went to see twice, and it was probably one of the best concerts, if not the best concert I've been to. My friend and I were very close. I was screaming at the top of my lungs. I lost my voice. My friend lost his voice. We pre-gamed, and it was one hell of a show. Like, unforgettable, honestly. So BLACKPINK is next, and I have, multiple. I have G-Idol coming up soon. Who else am I gonna see? I don't remember. Is it just G-Idol? Oh, aespa, BLACKPINK, G-Idol, Idol, whatever you guys want to call it. So they're up next for sure. Tickets are bought and all that. So something that what Wabi and I brought up was NewJeans, and NewJeans, to me, when they first came out, I think it was Attention the thing I first heard, and it was definitely a good song, but it didn't grasp my attention as much as Hype Boy did, and Cookie, and even Hurt I liked more than Attention when it first came out. So now that they are, I don't they're superstars. Like, it's crazy, they're superstars. Like, it is controversial to say because it's very early in their careers, but none of the songs they've been releasing, with the exception of Zero, because that was a Coke sponsored song, and we'll get back to Zero in a little bit, they have all been bangers. All the NewJeans songs have been bangers. I mean, Attention and Hype Boy, crazy. Cookie was fun. Ditto, when it first came out, I remember it was winter. I was walking to work, and it definitely hit different in the winter. Then OMG came out, and that's probably one of my most played songs of the year, honestly, even to this day. And their new project, Get Up, came out. Man, Super Shy is crazy. The song NewJeans is crazy. Cool With You, my friends don't really like it, but I stand by the fact that it is a really good song. ETA, such a good song as well. ASAP, I'm kind of iffy about. Get Up is like very short, so I don't really count that. But I guess I can say, I mean, I'm no music expert, but I guess I can kind of say that they are the next supergroup. Like, no one is doing what they're doing so early on in their careers. They're less than a year old, and if I look back at other groups, maybe before I was even into them, ITZY with, what was it, Dalla Dalla. They didn't. I mean, they were big, based off what I heard, because I wasn't into that back then. They looked like they did great. Who else? What other girl group debuted? Everglow. When they debuted, it was insane. I heard, again, I wasn't in it, but they have their reasons for not reaching the level that they deserve to reach. I think Everglow is probably one of the best groups, and they do everything really, really well. So the fact that they haven't reached that level is kind of whack, but they deserve much more, and their comeback is around the corner. So I'm very excited. I've been waiting very long for this. But NewJeans, or we'll even go to LE SSERAFIM. Fearless did great. Anti-Fragile did great, and Unforgiven I think did good for what it's worth. Now they're promoting Eve, Psych, and the Bluebeard's Wife, which has already way too many versions, even though it's like 3. Well, the original English, a featured one, and now there's a remix that just came out today. It just came out today. It's a good song, but they're playing it out. Like, I can't really think that far back, because I was never really into groups like this in the past. But NewJeans hasn't missed, and I'm not saying that they're my favorite group. NewJeans, I think, is actually far from my favorite group. I don't even think I have a favorite group right now. I guess you can say LE SSERAFIM or Everglow at the moment. BLACKPINK was my favorite group in the past, and ITZY had its little moment. But NewJeans, really, whoever's making the music really knows what they're doing, and it's crazy. I'm honestly very impressed at the fact that they're doing that well. I don't think any male group has even reached anything remotely close in recent times. I guess Stray Kids, but they're like throwback, like, I mean, they're not old obviously, but like they've solidified themselves as, like, I want to say, like the male group of this generation, you can say. So that's just Stray Kids, but in recent times it's just all female groups reaching new numbers. I mean, LE SSERAFIM broke a record, and then it was broken by aespa, and then NewJeans had just broke the Sarah. Like, it's insane. And I guess the reason why I feel they're doing so well is because it's I guess trendy, right? We can say trendy, but it's also a very simple. I'm talking NewJeans specifically. It's a very simple sound. It's not too complex. There's no crazy drop. It's very, very chill. And I think that's a new way of making music, in a way, because, I mean, 50/50, Cupid, it's fun, yes, but everything is very mellow. Like, the beat is very, like, simple too. Like, there's no crazy synth in the back going on, like all around, and like other groups do. And I feel like that's just what works. Aside from TikTok, of course, aside from TikTok is probably playing the biggest role of blowing these songs up. I mean, OMG and 50/50's Cupid, like they blew up like crazy because of TikTok. I don't like TikTok as an artist myself. I feel like, or maybe because I haven't, made it on TikTok, like I haven't promoted my things on it yet to make it to that point. But TikTok, I want to say, is kind of, in my opinion, ruining music for me. Um, Maybe because they play it out or they promote songs that are really not that good. Like I can't remember of any TikTok song that I've listened to because I avoid all that. But OMG came out fire. TikTok had it. It went viral. It got old. 50/50, Cupid, fire. I was on it before it even went viral. Now it's like played out. Like I can't even enjoy it that much anymore. Um, yeah, like I avoid all this, and I guess you can say TikTok is a powerful tool for these artists. For me, it hasn't been because I haven't really used it to that extent, right? And that's what Wabi and I spoke about, because we try to promote, but it's just not. It's maybe we're doing it wrong, but it's not the same. We're so used to this old-fashioned single, maybe third single album, and that's what, even to this day, that's what I've been doing when I released my album, The Love Effect. It was Blame It Across the Globe and Toxic, and then about a week later, album came out. So it's an old school way of making music, or releasing music, matter of fact. And I feel like that's where things are kind of, we're losing it a little bit, where the old school kind of, not old heads, because I'm far from an old head, but my way of promoting songs have not been the same as the new way that they're doing it, which is obviously TikTok, reels, whatever. And I tried doing a vertical reel on Instagram, but it did get views, which is pretty cool, but it's not, it's not my favorite way of promoting it. And maybe it's because I don't know how to do it. It's a different creative world. But whatever these people are doing, and it's not just Korean groups, it's any group, really, any song, it'll blow up on TikTok, and it's crazy. But back to the topic of K-pop. I really think that we live in a time where it's saturated a lot. It's definitely very saturated, but it's good at the same time, because it's giving us more musical options. Going back to the old way of promoting, or at least in the Western market. Let's say I have a favorite artist. Let's say Jared Evan, my boy. Shout out Jared Evan. If you listen to this, bro, shout out to you. He drops an album, fire album. And I guess this is something that another artist spoke about. I don't remember if it was Hoodie Allen who said it once in a live or in an interview, but he says that everything moves so fast on the internet. Once you release the album, they'll play it a week or two on to the next one, and it's exactly how it is. So, let's say Jared Evan when he released Boom Bap 3. Boom Bap 3 was an incredible album. Honestly, it might even be the best album in that Boom Bap and Blues series. It came out, I was listening to it all the time, and I still listen to it. It's still a really solid album. However, things move very fast now, like faster than they used to. It's like Boom Bap comes out, and then someone else drops a project. So you're like, okay, let's listen to this. And then as you're getting used to that one, you're like, all right, maybe you can go back and listen to this one. And then someone else drops something. And it's really cool to when that happens with artists that you like, because sometimes there's artists that keep you waiting for years and don't release anything, or only snippets and never release any full projects. So it's cool when these Korean groups do it, because they leave you with so much music to listen to. Like I think it was, well, who was it? I think it was Le Seraphim, aespa, G-Idol, all in 1 month. And I listen to music almost every minute of every day. I mean, of every hour. Every day I'm listening to music, whether it be on my headphones or in the car, or just playing it out loud. I'm always listening to music, and I really love listening to all this music, because I'm never bored. I always have something new to listen to. But I was telling someone recently that I've reached a point now where there's so much music for me to listen to that I can't even take time and listen to an album and enjoy it enough, because the next project, and I guess you can say it's like a preference type of thing, you know? Like I can listen to today, Travis Scott and Post Malone released an album. Cool. I heard both of them, not in their entirety, because I know what I like and I know what I don't like. Post Malone, I think personally at the moment had a better album, mainly because I liked more of his songs, or maybe because it's more of my style, you know. Than Travis Scott. Travis Scott did have a good album. Well, matter of fact, I liked one song off the album. Mainly, but I don't. That Travis Scott is not my kind of music. That's not what I like to listen to. So, but now you have two albums that come out at the same time, and like I have to choose which one am I going to listen to first, and then I have to really. People can skip it, like they can skip songs very fast, like I did, because I know what I like and I know what I don't like. But people will play Travis Scott's album, not even listen to it properly, go to Post Malone, listen to Post Malone's album, not listen to it properly, and they got to keep going back and forth, because they've never really immersed themselves in the actual experience of what the album should be. When I make music, I like to create some sort of like experience, you know. My Something About Love album, it was like the beginning of the tale to the end, you know. And I feel like that's what albums in as a whole, as a project, they all try doing that in every album. Everyone does it differently, of course, but like you have to enjoy each album in the way that they're intended to, in my opinion, you know. I don't like skipping through songs. I want to feel the entire effect of the album in one listen, or maybe in multiple. So when it comes to these Korean songs, I had a week for LE SSERAFIM, a week for aespa, and maybe a week and a half for aespa, and a week for (G)I-DLE, because I wanted to really go in. And then I had all these songs going back and forth. I would go from Unforgiven to Spicy to All Night, then Queen Card, then let's go back to Thirsty. Like and it's fun. I enjoy it because there's so much music to listen to, but things have just changed in recent times when it comes to the way that things move, like I said before. And although it is a good thing, it's also a bad thing. TikTok, I feel like, has a lot to do with that. And like the trends just they come up very, very fast. Like as fast as they come up, it's as fast as they drop. But during that little time of fame, like these songs can do incredible things. And that's just what I wanted to touch base on, because it's been on my mind lately. Just music in general, like I can't get away from it, honestly. Like, and I'm sure it's with everybody else. Music is everywhere we go. When I'm working, headphones on, sometimes one, sometimes both, they're on. Yesterday I recorded a new song. Later today I'm probably gonna be listening to a couple of songs, you know, that I probably never heard before or haven't heard in years or maybe months. Like, you know, after this podcast, I'm actually interested in going back and listening to Boom Bap 3, because I remember it was a great album and I enjoyed it a lot when it came out. I was driving to work, it felt good. And I've immersed myself in the Korean genre so much that I really haven't had the full experience of what Boom Bap 3 should be. And I'm a living example of things moving too fast. Like I went here, then I'll go there, and then move back. And it's just something that was on my mind. I felt like that's part of what this podcast is, you know, recline and unwind. Let's just, you know, talk things out. I mean, hey guys, if we do a Q&A, I'm more than happy to have my opinion on certain things, because, you know, we all got different opinions, and that's what Young and Brainless was originally about, opening your minds to things that you didn't really know and didn't really consider. Like, so we're young. I mean, we're still young, we're brainless because we have a lot more to learn. But recline and unwind, I mean, hey, we can just have a conversation. That's what we've been doing with all the guests lately. That's what we've been doing outside of the podcast, you know, off camera, off the mic, you know, all that. You know, and I love opening my mind to new horizons. I mean, heck, we're getting involved in different genres of music now. So I just wanted to bring that up. A question that I can leave you guys with, and it's probably gonna be the title of the episode, is NewJeans the new BLACKPINK in terms of popularity? Completely different sounds. But is NewJeans and new Blackpink? Are they more like Twice? Um, Another question that we can leave off with is how fast do you move on from a project and how fast do you go back to it? Because that's like I said, like when an album will come out today. Travis Scott's album came out today, right? I forgot how many songs. There's probably like 13, 15 songs on that album. How fast are we gonna move from Utopia? How fast are we gonna move on? I mean, Lil Uzi just released what, the Pink Tape? Let me see, Lil Uzi. I think it was a Pink Tape. No, Pink Tape, yeah. Did we already move on from Pink Tape? Are we on Utopia already? Are we gonna go to Post Malone? Like, it's a lot of, like, things move way too fast. I don't know if people are even making good music still. Look, Travis Scott, 19 songs, 1 hour and 13 minutes. And that's something I do want to touch base on as well. Why are songs getting short? Songs are getting lazier, in my opinion. In terms of like how they're gonna trend, I understand the strategic point there. But songs are just too short now. Some of them don't even make 2 minutes. Some of them are a little over 2 minutes, and that sucks. Because I enjoy listening to a song in its entirety. I enjoy listening to the story that the song has to tell, and sometimes the story never ends. And I guess that's what an album could do, right? But when an album has 19 songs and is only an hour long, like, why are you making some songs so short? You know, that's just something that's been a pet peeve of mine for years. Certain artists can do it. People like Lil Pump. We do not need a 3-minute song from Lil Pump. I'm a big Pump fan. You know, when Gucci Gang came out, D Rose, Drug Addicts, you know, all these songs I was a huge fan of. But we do not need like these long songs, at least from Pump. We need these songs from Post Malone. We need these songs from, let's say, Ariana Grande. We need these songs maybe even from Travis Scott, like Sicko Mode. That beat switch I wasn't a fan of. It grew on me now, but we need these long songs because that's what makes a song, I want to say, iconic, you know? Like, we're gonna go back, listen to 2-minute songs, we're like, all right, that was a good song, but all it was made for was the trend. And I guess that's how people make money, right? But in that case, are you even really an artist? Are you really doing music because you love music, or is it just because it's a paycheck? I understand if that's your way of making money, and I mean, by all means, right? Like, let's keep it coming. But for the love of the music, like a 2-minute song, let alone a 1-minute song, one and something, like, that's not a song, man. Like, or making songs that have this one trendy part and then the whole song is ass. Like, that sucks. I hate that. And I may not be the best artist out there. I'm probably far from it, but I like to make sure that my songs have a story and are not just this one catchy bit and then everything else is like terrible. Either my whole song is terrible or my whole song has a good meaning, you know? And that's something that I guess an old head would think about. I don't consider myself an old head, like I said before, but I definitely like music enough to provide not only the listener, but as an artist, create something that has a story. You know, Jake Miller just released not too long ago a song called Note to Self, and it's a long song, longer song than normal, than current songs will be, but it's a really meaningful song. There's a lot of good, like a big meaning behind it, because it's very inspirational, very like motivating. I'm actually gonna check it out right now. How long it is. Oh damn, my sound is on. Like, it's super inspirational, and I feel like that's what songs should always be. This song is 2 minutes, almost 3 minutes, 2:55, almost 3 minutes long. I think that's fine, so long as the song has a real purpose, and this song does have a real purpose, and that's what I feel like as an artist we should do, and as listeners we should really try to, you know, immerse ourselves in the full experience of what it is to listen to a song or an album, you know. And I feel like that's what works sometimes for certain artists, but for me, and I feel for many other old school way of thinking kind of artists, like these trendy songs aren't it. But I'm gonna leave it at that, guys. It is a very short episode today. It's hot. It's honestly very hot. I'm sure you can see me like shining if the video of this episode is up already, or it might not be, I don't know. It's very hot out, and I just had this to get off my chest. I believe next week we'll be back with a guest. We shall see who the guest will be, because there are multiple episodes already lined up, but I believe we're making a month already of Recline and Unwind. Man, time moves so fast. You don't even realize how fast, things are going. We already did three. Yeah, I think this would be I think we make a month already, actually. July 1st was the first episode. We're about to make a month. Was the fifth episode. So yeah, probably next week's episode is already the first one after the full month, which is crazy. Guys, like we're really pumping this out for now, and hopefully we don't stop. If next week we don't have an episode, this ain't age well. But I'm gonna leave you guys with that, guys. Just wanted to touch on a couple of music topics. K-pop, huge fan of it now. Check out NewJeans' album. It's not sponsored whatsoever. Not by TikTok, not by Hive, not by NewJeans, Adore, nobody. I just this is definitely an episode I had lined up, and I definitely wanted to talk about it. Heck, maybe we'll have other guests that have to do with this kind of genre. We shall find out. But that's all we got for today, guys. It's very hot. I am sweating under this. If I turn on the AC, we're gonna hear it right here on the mic. Mic's down here, actually. I'm not trying to have that ruin whatever. Even if this audio is not the best, we got something in. But guys, thank you guys for tuning in. Whoever tuned in, poll should be up on Spotify as well. So answer the poll. Who you guys think BLACKPINK? I mean, NewJeans is a new BLACKPINK. How fast do you move back from album to album, or move back to an album after moving on from it? And who are some of your favorite artists, guys? I mean, by all means, go ahead. We have a regular Q&A section as well, so let's chat, guys. Yeah, so thank you guys for tuning in. And just a short episode. We might do solo episodes like this. If you guys have any more questions or anything like that, let's go for it. But that's it for today. Stay tuned for next week. Thanks for the support, guys, and I will see you guys soon. Peace.